Mr. Minnick with some possible upgrades for the board game project. See other videos for other ideas. The first idea here is to simply change the language of the words that are displayed on the screen. What we often do is, in the constants area, that's often found at the top of a Python file, we add constants such as this, perhaps language, in all capital letters. I'm going to currently set it equal to English in the lowercase double quotes. Then, in an area where I'm setting up the screen, I'm going to add an if statement, probably in this spot right here. I'm adding an if statement, as you can see. And we've studied if statements, but if language double equals English, no, I'm going to put Spanish, colon, then we set directions in lowercase, for reasons I don't want to get into now. Directions equals my board game, but in Spanish. So I have sources that tell me that my board game is, pronounce it, Mr. Aiden. Okay, I'm typing it, what he wrote on the chalkboard. Hopefully that's correct, Mrs. Gernert, if you ever watch this video. The word end in Spanish. What's the word for end in Spanish, someone? P-E-R. T-E-R. M-I-N-E. And last of all, what's the word begin in Spanish? M. E-M. P-I-E-C-A. Z-A. Now, the word reset, I'm going to go for broke. What's the word reset, someone? In Spanish, I'll put question marks in there for now. What's the color of the Spanish flag? What's one of the colors in the Spanish flag? Red. Well, no, I don't need it to be spelled. I just need it actually in English in this case.
Red.
And is there another background color in the Spanish flag? Gold?
Green.
Okay.
Green.
Secondary color, green. Is it green or is it red?
No, all the
Does anybody play a
Mexican-
Spanish soccer team?
Yeah. Red, green, green.
Spain, not Mexico,
It's
and not
red,
the
white.
DR.
Oh.
Yellow, red, and blue. No, Dominican Republic.
Well, I'm putting red, yellow in. We can always change it later here. Now, back to the important part of the video. In an ELIF area, as you can see in this video, I'm checking to see if language, which should have been lowercase. I'm sorry. I meant to spell the word language up here in lowercase. And I meant to not put this in the board constants area, but rather down in the variables area. I'm going to put a section called variables, as you see here. And language is going to be a variable here with a single equals symbol, and then followed by the if statement with lowercase language. Now in this video, make sure you're making the changes like I am if you wish to do something similar to this. But does anybody know the French for the phrase directions? Oh, it's on my whiteboard right now. So apparently directions in Spanish, or in French I meant.
No, that's my board game.
Okay, that's what I meant actually, my board game. Mon jeu de society. Something like that. And in French, what's the word end? I think it's like fini or something. No, in French I meant to say French. And begin, what is that in French? Commence or something? Probably, I'm going to put it in there. Somebody can fix it later. The word reset, that's going to be question marks until somebody tells me for sure. Okay, hold on. And then primary color in the French flag. I think they have red and blue along with white. And here's where we're going with this video, Julian, so that you realize how serious this is to make sure a game works in all countries and not just the English version. White is the background color for all these flags. I'm going to default to English, so in the else area, I'm going to put the English versions of these variables in this if, elif, else area. My board game is going to go in the double quotes as you see for the directions in English. End is the word end. Begin is the word begin. And of course, reset is reset. Now, in the United States, the flag is red, white, and blue. The white will be background. The primary color, I'll consider it red. What a coincidence. I'll change it to blue and red so it doesn't look like the French version of this. Now I'm set to go. When I run the program, I have a Spanish version. Check it out. Oh, it didn't work. It still says my board game, even though this variable language is currently set equal to Spanish. So what you have to do now for this upgrade is find the location where it used to say my board game, and this is a little tricky. Instead of hardwiring this, as we call it, to my board game, we put in the actual language, we put in the variable name directions here. The variable name directions can be put in the spot where we had that double quotes. Now check this out. When I run the program, as long as the word Spanish is in the double quotes here next to the variable name language, we will see my board game in Spanish right here. If you want to change it to the French version, you change the word French in that one spot and it updates to the French phrase. Now I'll leave it as an upgrade exercise for you all to also make sure it changes the word end here and the word begin. It's under the turtle and the word reset. With the correct changes, like I did for the directions, at least the title, you can make 3 different or as many languages as you want as long as you do if, elif, elif, elif. If by default, this one defaults to English because English is in the else section. The colors, see how I have primary color there? Instead of the word, instead of right here in the draw board DEF function, right here where I have white, instead of white in double quotes, I could put primary color. And actually I want to keep, primary color, I think that's what I want, without double quotes around it. And instead of black, I'm going to put that secondary color. Watch what happens when I run the project now. The colors update to blue and red in those spots. But if I change the country, in this case to Spanish from French, we should see instant, not just the word changes up here, manger de société, should change to the Spanish for, I apologize for my mispronunciation, but mi juego de mesa. Watch what happens to the color scheme as well. The Spanish language changes, but we also get the Spanish colors from their flag, yellow and red. So you can add these variables and an if-elif statement to your heart's content to have like 3 for the price of 1, where there's a game, but with a very, very minor change to the line number 54 here to whatever the language is set for. It changes the look and feel of that game. I hope that inspired you to possibly make some upgrades of that level.